Disney Girl back for another episode of my Disney's Magic Kingdoms game. So today we are going to be continuing Tower Challenge number 6 and also working a little bit on my main storyline because I am trying to unlock more of the Peter Pan collection. So milestone reward, so I've reached number 2 now, so I get 2 magical chests here. So let's go ahead and find out what I got inside my 2 free magical chests. Alright, so we got some character tokens for Abu, some currency, and Iago's ears hat token. Okay, so that is going to be useful to level him up, but I'm probably not going to be doing that right now, at least during chapter 1. So this will be something for a little bit later. Now in the second chest, we've got some refresh tokens, a token for Carpet and for Abu. So again, I'm probably not going to be doing much leveling up in terms of the Aladdin collection right now, just because I am focusing more on chapter 2 and 3 characters, which we know Frozen is going to be the collection that we're using for chapter 2, and then chapter 3 we're using Wreck-It Ralph. So I need to work a little bit on that, as like also to my main storyline characters and stuff like that, like Tia Dama, for example, and Boo. I mean, Boo's part of this collection right now, part of the Monsters Inc., which is in slot 3, so I do definitely still need to work on leveling her up a little bit, but I haven't had her that long, so that's why she's not maybe like a 10 like the other Monsters Inc. characters. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about in terms of the refresh tokens right now, when you guys run out, in previous tower challenges, what you'd be able to do is, instead of like having to wait for a character to drop another one, I mean, you could speed it up by speeding up their, obviously, quest time by using gems to do that. But before, you used to be able to use gems to sort of just refresh a character as well. Now, it used to be 6 gems, and I'm noticing in this tower challenge, it is actually 10 gems. I didn't show it on my screen here, but I was sort of noticing that before I got a whole bunch of refresh tokens in my magical chest. That, you know what, I think that's a little bit strange they didn't mention that that was going up. I didn't even notice until I ran out of refresh tokens, because you wouldn't know unless you actually ran out. But just something to consider, it's now actually going to be more expensive to sort of gem your way through in order to end up being on the leaderboard and stuff like that. If you guys are like in a very competitive leaderboard, it is going to cost a lot more gems to do that. So just something to sort of consider in terms of refresh tokens and stuff like that, and maybe even also bringing in the Sultan. I know the Sultan is either for gems or in a bundle, but you guys can sort of make your decision whether you want to invest in him or not. I did, and I actually find him extremely useful for the refresh tokens because he goes every 2 hours, which is great because it times up really well with the tower. So it's just sort of one of those things I can do. Now the other characters are a little bit longer, like 6 to 8 hours, for example, like Jessie and Sarge. Just to name a few, so they take a little bit longer and they may not sort of time up exactly with when you check your kingdom. So I'm just finding the Sultan to be a little bit more useful, at least for the refresh tokens for this chapter. Now, I'm sure this is my opinion for this is gonna carry over into chapters 2 and 3 as well. So again, just something to consider if you guys haven't invested in him and you were kind of debating on whether to do that or not. I would say probably now is your time to invest in him if you're going to do that. And 2, it's also kind of fun with the Aladdin movie out right now, the live action. I haven't been to see it yet, but it is on my list to do for this week. There's been a little bit of mixed reviews on it, so I'd love to obviously share my opinion with you guys after I go and see it. Obviously I had a little bit of opinions about the trailer and stuff like that, like in terms of Jafar, maybe the actor they chose, I don't know, he didn't like look like a Jafar to me. He didn't have that sort of air about him that was sort of, I don't know, villainous, I guess. I sort of felt like it was like a nice guy trying to play a villain, and I was like, I don't know about this. Again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't say for sure, but at least in the trailer, that's sort of what they made him like a little bit in terms of his personality. So let me know if you guys have actually seen the Aladdin live action movie, and if you have, what you guys actually thought about it. Is it worth going to see? Alright, so one thing to here, actually I'm just noticing on my screen right now, is that some characters, if you notice, they have a little tower challenge symbol on them, like up by their character name and level. Actually, guys, that is super duper helpful, and this was something that was incorporated a couple of tower challenges ago. It wasn't in the very first one, but it is something they've incorporated now, and that basically means that those characters are sort of involved in challenging the tower. So that will change per chapter, obviously, but it's sort of a bit of a reminder, like, hey, don't send this character out for like 8 hours, or send it home or something like that, or even level it up for too long, if especially you're using it obviously to challenge the tower. So I really find that feature really helpful, but I think it's something that some people maybe just overlook in the game, or maybe they're not sure what it means if you guys are a newer player. But it just means that it helps out to challenge the tower. It doesn't mean like, you know, oh yeah, they've been used and they're tired. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that they are helpful. So here is Wendy flying around on her quest right now.
Wait a moment. Up there, in the sky. Either this place has some very green and very large birds, or that's him.
Quest complete. Oh, Peter, where are you?
I'd recognize that shadow anywhere. After all, I did have to sew Peter's shadow back on him.
That is true. Oh my goodness. Alright, so it looks like we've got more dialogue actually from her here.
Peter! Oh, Peter Pan! Down here! It's Wendy! I've been looking all over for you.
Does this mean we're unlocking Peter now? Oh, here he is! Oh, hello there, Wendy. I almost didn't see you. What are you doing all the way down there on the ground like that? Welcome a Flyers. This is a kingdom quest. Welcome Peter Pan. Yay! Oh my gosh, we've unlocked a new character that's part of my main storyline. So this isn't going to be helpful for the tower challenge, but he'll probably be used in upcoming tower challenges. But this means I can actually start collecting for him. So characters that aren't sort of useful for the actual challenge itself, I will be able to use them to start collecting for him. So this is good. Alright, so here we can see the character tokens that we'll need for Peter Pan. So Pixie Dust is the first one. So this obviously is sort of the classic character token that every single Peter Pan character needs. We can see that they're basically all 60-minute quests, which is pretty great. Now that doesn't apply obviously to attractions, but in terms of characters, they're just 60 minutes to go out and collect for the Pixie Dust. So yes, we need a lot of them, but again, very easy to collect. Now it looks like Peter Pan can actually collect his own character token, obviously, once we get him into the kingdom. The Pan Flute is his second one. We need 35 of those. The Parade Float's going to be useful. It looks like some Jungle Book characters. Ooh, yes, Eeyore and Christopher Robin, Shere Khan. Oh my gosh, okay, this is great. Now the one character though that, yeah, I still don't have is Grumpy. Now, I really wish I had him. Ah, Grumpy! My goodness, I have been trying to get him for a very long time. Basically, since I started this game, and I still can't get him. The next character token is Peter Pan's ears hat. We also need 35 of those. Again, the Parade Float. Looks like Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Book. So, yeah, pretty useful. Oh, the Jolly Roger. So that was actually in a bundle with Captain Hook that I purchased. So yeah, that is going to be good. So I think the Jolly Roger actually collects both character tokens, but we'll check that out in just a second. The big thing though is 750,000 magic. Ah, my goodness. Literally, I'm going to have no magic in my kingdom at all. And especially with this new happiness sort of issue that's sort of going on in the game, I'm actually not able to collect as much magic, so I'm definitely even more sensitive than ever about holding on to my magic. And again, we need 12 hours to bring him in. Now that's pretty standard. Some characters, like now as we get farther along into the storyline, are like 12 to 24, so I believe Wendy was 24 hours, so Peter's obviously a little bit less than that, but I'm assuming collecting for him is going to take a lot longer. Now again, it's really good that I actually have Christopher Robin, I've got Captain Hook, the Jolly Roger, so a lot of things that are going to help me out. I think Grumpy, though, is the big one that's kind of gonna do me a bit. Wendy Darling right now is a level 3. I do need to get her leveled up if I can a little bit higher in this tower challenge, because she is going to be useful for one of the chapters. So I will be doing a bit of a like a spoiler or leak video on that. I did show it during my tower challenge live stream, so I will definitely though be just posting the spoilers on its own, but yeah, we will be doing that in an upcoming video, probably the next one. The Jolly Roger collects the ears hats. Okay, so it's legendary. Yikes! Like, Wendy's are epic, and Peter Pan's legendary. So this is going to probably take quite some time. Yeah, now, again, the happiness thing is probably going to take even longer to collect for him just because of that whole thing. The character tokens aren't going to drop the same way because my happiness isn't... Well, it's sometimes an ecstatic. It kind of fluctuates a little bit up and down right now. So, yeah, we'll talk about happiness, though, like, a little bit later. We'll probably be talking about it over the next few videos. Now, the parade float here helps with both Wendy Darling and Peter Pan's character tokens. Again, both of them, as we can see, Wendy's are epic and Peter's are legendary. So, again, going to probably take quite some time to collect for those. Not like the Aladdin ears hats that just literally flew in for him. I believe those are like common or uncommon, so they're pretty easy to get for Aladdin, but that just shows you like the difference of like a character token drop. When it's like common or uncommon, it drops super quickly. There's another one. Gosh, it's Aladdin's ears hats. They're just everywhere. Well, I guess that'll be useful to max him out, because I think he's a 9 right now. But the thing is like I probably won't be able to do it during the tower challenge. I just won't have enough time. Yeah, so they're actually uncommon Aladdin's ears hats. So those are dropping quite well. Now my happiness is in ecstatic at the moment, but it just drops like every 5 minutes. It almost goes down like 1% right now. So I hope DMK figures this out soon, because this is becoming a little bit of a problem, I think, for everybody, but I'm finding it quite difficult. I know DMK did give us the 350 elixirs and 100% happiness, so for us to use the safeguard on our kingdom to keep it happy while they sorted out the issue. Now the thing is, that only gives us, like, the safeguard only gives us 24 hours. So the only problem with that is it like doesn't really help for, again, longer than that. So I'm hoping that they sort out what they need to, like, quickly, because again, that 24 hours since they gave it to us has already passed. So I'm like, yeah, I thought this was going to be like an issue maybe like 48, 72 hours at most, but it's already been like 4 or 5 days. Actually, yeah, it's been at least 5 days now since we've had the update and since the happiness has changed. So I almost just hope they put it back to what it was, because it was working just fine. Like, I really don't think there was any problem with the happiness to begin with. I feel like they just changed it around, again, for a reason that didn't actually match up. Like, it was based on, like, collecting more character tokens for your kingdom, but if anything, now it's actually decreased it and the magic. And the thing is like, I think most people were just complaining about the character, not the character token drops, yes, maybe a little bit, but it was the amount that we had to collect. So that was the biggest problem. So here, I'll read to you the happiness update here. Hi Kingdomers, thanks for all your comments about changes to the happiness reward system. We have reached out to several players requesting user IDs, and we are reviewing our data to better understand what we can do to ensure that this system results in a more positive experience for our players. While we look into this more closely, we are sending all of our players 160 happiness, which will move you into ecstatic tier, along with 350 elixirs. If you're a newer player, this is awesome for you. Now, again, that'll be used in Merlin's shop under the safeguard area, but you have to obviously unlock Merlin to do that. Finally, we will be removing activities that help generate happiness lasting longer than 1 hour. So that is actually going to be extremely good. We had intended to remove them in this update, and the fact that they were still included, well, they need to look into it a little bit more. So, that being said, again, that's another thing that they're going to be looking into with happiness. Oh, Jasmine!
Aladdin, there's something I have to... Well, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen the procession myself.
Jasmine, you're here. Listen, I figured out what Abu was saying.
My father is here in the kingdom.
The Sultan is here in the... I guess you, me, and Abu are all right. That monkey's acting really proud of himself. Quest complete. Second opinion.
Well, he should be. He did try to tell me himself. I should give him some apology fruit later.
So that actually is giving us a refresh token and some more currency. Yay! And obviously more dialogue.
I thought my father would have told us he was coming, but he does forget to send messengers sometimes. Still, a surprise visit is much better than no visit at all. Aladdin, are you all right?
No, I mean, yes. I mean, just realized I haven't even talked to your dad in, well, in months. What if I forget how to... Jasmine, could we run through all those noble etiquette lessons you've been giving me again? Like, all of them? Refresher course. This is an event quest, so send Aladdin and Jasmine to practice noble manners. Alright, so I guess we can probably do this. Now the thing is, though, is that'll take away from the tower itself. Oh no! Equip Aladdin's Prince Ali costume! Guys, I don't have it! Oh no! Oh, this is horrible! Okay, so I think this is the only thing I'm missing right now from the Aladdin collection, so... Yeah, I don't know, opening a legendary chest just for this costume. I mean, I want to because I want it, but at the same time I'm like, oh, there's so many other things I'd rather invest in a little bit later on in like legendary chests and stuff. So, I don't know if I should do that, guys. What do you think? Should I continue with the dialogue, get more currency and refresh tokens, or just leave it and give up on it? Now, that quest will stay there until the tower challenge is over, so I do have some time, and obviously that means you guys have time to weigh in on what you guys think I should do. It's tough because it is, I believe, like epic or something in there, so it will be, or rare, I think it's epic. It will be quite difficult actually to get. So I don't know whether I should do it right now or just hold on to my money and my gems that I currently have, because I could use them on magical chests and stuff like that as well. Now, Raja, in terms of my Raja progress, I am doing quite well. I won't be done in this video, I don't think, in terms of collecting his first character token, this build goblet, but it is something that I am hoping to sort of finish up. Probably, I'm hoping in my next video. In my next video, I should be giving you guys the spoilers and leaks and everything for chapters 2 and 3. Probably finishing chapter 1 in terms of points and hopefully Raja's character tokens. So I will keep you guys posted on that, obviously, but I'm hoping that by the next video I will be done everything. Now, I am having a bit of a glitch, just so you guys know, in my kingdom. I don't know if any of you guys have experienced this yourselves, but for about 2 or 3 hours, the actual tower itself disappeared in my kingdom. And now, as you guys can see along the bottom, I'm missing that button that says the amount of hours or days that are left in the tower challenge. The tower has come back, and obviously the quests and stuff like that with Jasmine, they came back, but they did disappear. Literally, everything was gone. I like had to turn off my device, return it back on. There's no update or anything. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, and then basically again the tower was gone. The balloon was back, so it was like I hadn't even participated in any tower challenge. Now, it did come back and all of my progress was there. I did lose out on a few hours, but it wasn't anything I don't think that's going to affect me. I mean, I probably would have had it done in this video had this not happened to me, but again, it happened, so I'm just gonna have to, like, I've postponed it a little bit just for you guys, and I'll just combine everything together. But just something, if you guys are having problems with this, turn off your device, make sure you guys close the game and restart it like a couple of times. If it still continues after, I'd say, like 2 or 3 hours, definitely contact customer support and sort of just let them know what's going on in your kingdom, and then that way they hopefully will be able to help you out. Now, you can also check on their Facebook page and see if this is a common thing that is happening to a lot of players and stuff like that. I checked. I didn't see anything about it. I think I'm like one of the only ones at the moment that's actually like posted anything about this. Now, I know some people were having trouble actually getting the update, so being able to get the update with the Toy Story, so to be able to unlock Ducky and everything, but nobody's really said anything in terms of the tower challenge. So again, if you guys have had some sort of similar experience, let me know, because if a bunch of us have actually had this issue happen, then even if it comes back, we should just let them know, like, hey, the game is glitching in terms of this tower challenge a little bit, and, you know, maybe you guys want to look into it. Like, we didn't lose our progress, but it did affect us a little bit in terms of collecting points or currency and stuff like that to be able to complete it. Again, not something I don't think it's gonna hinder me from finishing it. The Sultan! Good heavens! Why, I've never been so enraptured, not in all my days! Why, the wildlife alone, lions, bears, crocodiles, it nearly puts my own menagerie to shame. I even thought I noticed that elusive creature from my animal tower at home. The goatish-looking one with the cape. Goatish-looking one with the cape? Who's that? It was difficult to be quite sure about that one, though. He roared at me the moment I got close. Quest complete. Maybe try a money belt. I think I prefer seeing that one as a toy rather than in flesh. He's got quite a temper on him. I'm wondering if he's talking about Shere Khan? I don't know. The temper. Shere Khan's got a bit of a temper on him. Who else has got a temper? Oh gosh, there are a couple of them that have tempers, but in terms of like Lion King type of characters, which is I'm guessing probably what it's referring to, or Jungle Book. I guess Scar could be one of them. I don't have like Simba or Nala, and I don't think they would roar like that, but I don't know. I'm kind of curious to what the Sultan was talking about just there. I know there's like a lot of little hints in terms of like when characters have those sort of dialogues and they run into each other. They don't actually communicate, but they will sort of mention something and you have to kind of guess what, you know, obviously character they're speaking of. So sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, but usually I can figure it out relatively quickly. But this one, I'm honestly at a loss. Creature that roars the cape. I'm confused. I'm just literally envisioning in my mind like Shere Khan as like a super villain, like, but at the same time like a Superman pose, like to the rescue. And like, yeah, I don't know, just being ridiculous. Okay, I'm gonna just end that thought there because it's really hilarious in my mind, but I'm definitely not expressing it right. Oh, okay. Enough said about that. And something I do want to point out to you guys right now is my happiness has dropped under ecstatic to 99%. I guess I'm probably going to have to use the safeguard. This is something I really don't like to use in the game because, again, it wastes elixirs and stuff like that. And I have used a lot of elixirs lately on building Toy Story Mania. I also built recently, well, sort of recently, Jumping Jellyfish, but before that, actually, it was the 2 Aladdin attractions. Those were both, what, 7,500 each, I think it was for elixirs, and then Toy Story Mania was 30,000. And again, elixirs are really hard to collect for. It's not like Magic, that's a lot easier. You actually have to spend Magic to get elixirs and trade in a lot of your concessions and decorations and stuff like that. So definitely that is something that you can't really fool around with that much, so I've been kind of hesitant to spend my elixirs on it, but I might end up having to if, like, I'm not going to be able to get character tokens and magic fast enough. Now, I know the magic thing, I don't think that it affects anymore in the happiness. It used to give us like a 10% boost, and now that 10% I'm noticing like I'm losing like 5,000 magic at least just from the gathering spell alone in my kingdom. So that again is something in like sort of a bit separate, but I really wish like they just went back to the old happiness style. And if they're going to make our happiness drop a lot faster, they've got to give us more characters that can like help out the kids and stuff that visit the park. We need to be able to make them happy and stuff like that. Now, I know they said that they were getting rid of like 4 to 6 hour quests, and even 2, I guess, as well. They're just using 1 hour ones, but that hasn't changed, and they haven't updated anything since this sort of whole news bit sort of was released. And again, it's been like 5 days, so I'm hoping they sort this out, because I'm kind of tired of like going to bed and then waking up and I have like 99% ecstatic, and then I wake up and I'm like joyous. It's not that fun for me. Like I really don't enjoy leaving my kingdom for 4 to 6 hours and seeing my happiness drop like 100%. It's a little bit sad. And again too, I don't really want to use that much of my elixirs and stuff like that. Trying to safeguard my kingdom. If I can help it, I'll probably do it like once in the upcoming video so you guys can at least see it done. But I really just don't want to make it a habit to spend my elixirs on that, because again, it's a lot of elixirs and stuff for really only 24 hours, and we can't literally collect like that many elixirs in 24 hours. It's actually impossible. So collecting 350 elixirs, it's not going to happen unless you've got a whole bunch of decorations and concessions stocked up, which yeah, not many of us have. All right, so here is Boo back in the kingdom here. I was leveling her up because she's useful for this chapter. And so Boo is now level 8.
It's Kitty.
Oh, she's so cute. So she's probably not going to get any higher during this tower challenge, but that's okay. Just something to work on for the next one. Maybe I'll be able to get her a 9 or even a 10 by the next time a tower challenge sort of comes along. Now, King Louie is another one. I think I need to send him out for like 16 hours or something like that to level up. Again, he'll probably stop there, but if I do send him out, he will be useful for one of the chapters upcoming in this tower challenge, so I want to make sure I try and get him there. So there are definitely some characters I need to put some work into, but they're all really long, so it's either 16 to 24 hours usually. So again, like it's kind of the slow process right now, so I have to kind of pick and choose who I want. And again, I'm trying to level up some Wreck-It Ralph as well to like if I can a 9, so that way in chapter 2 I can send those ones that I've chosen to sort of invest in. That way I can send them off to max out, hopefully by the start of chapter 3. Now, once chapter 3 starts, I probably won't be doing much of that. I might be able to get away with doing it like once, so sending a character out to challenge the tower, like as soon as I refresh all my characters. And so once I do that, then after those 2 hours, I can send them to level up for 24. And then by the next day, that'll be fine when I refresh my characters again. It'll sort of all work out. But again, you have to kind of have it specifically to when you use the refresh everyone. That's really the only time you can sort of get away with leveling up a 24-hour character during a chapter that you're using that character. Otherwise, you will miss out on using them. Now, again, it's one character. It's not the end of the world, but you just try and avoid it. Try and be smart about this, especially with the refresh tokens and stuff. Maybe not dropping as well because of the happiness issue and stuff. So again, one of those things also just sort of to keep in mind. Now, in terms of Raja right now, it looks like we will finish off this video probably with Raja with 19 of 25 of these spilled goblets. So that is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with my progress at the moment. Now, we are going to be unlocking Frozen for Chapter 2 and Wreck-It Ralph for Chapter 3. And you can see that those are going to be the collections used. So we're good to go for that right now. Now, again, I am, as I said, working on the leveling up of those characters. But I have put restrictions on some of my Frozen ones. I haven't really talked about Frozen really yet in this video. But like the Frozen characters, for example, Anna, I will not be leveling her up or maxing her out, I guess, because she's a 9 right now. I will leave her that way, even though I have time to do it and she's all collected for and everything. I'm saving that welcome screen for when the comfy cozy costume comes out. Now, I know it's a little bit ridiculous and I'm not being smart in terms of this tower challenge, but I want that welcome screen. I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I wish we had another option to see the welcome screen, but it's still something that we have to wait on. They haven't incorporated that feature, and I don't think they're going to until they sort out this whole happiness thing at the moment. So yeah, I'm just sort of waiting on some of the characters. Like Elsa, she's gonna stay, I think she's what, like a 7. She's gonna end up staying there for sure, just because, again, I want the welcome screens for the 2 costumes that I don't have for her right now. So milestone reward number 4. So here is 500 event currency. Yay! Actually, so I will probably be able to purchase some more Raja. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but I think that gives me the option to do so. Now, I definitely will be very, very close with that 500. That'll get me 2 more actually of the spilled goblet, so that is good. Now, the refreshing everyone, okay, here it is. Basically, what you guys want to do is make sure you collect from the tower so that nobody is actually challenging it, and then refresh your characters. Because if you have characters that are currently challenging the tower when you do that refresh, the problem with that is those characters that are challenging the tower will not refresh themselves. So that doesn't really work for us. We need everybody to be refreshed. So you don't have to do it right away. Again, if you do it, every day it has that countdown starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They have the countdown that's like, you have 24 hours. You can use that refresh everyone button whenever you want in that 24-hour period of time until the next one is there. Now, you can't stock up on those ones though, guys. You have to use them like every day, which is definitely possible with the characters for sure, to, tire everybody out and then refresh them all. So something to keep in mind as well. So right now, in terms of points, I guess that last challenge there gives me 17,642, and we need 26,500 to get the lunchbox tart stand. So I should be fine to get it in chapter 1 for sure. It's more chapter 3 that I'm worried about, because I know we need so many more points. Yeah, that's why we need our characters for chapter 3 as high as we can possibly get them, especially if we want that last concession stand. So now I'm at 23 of 25, so I only need 2 more goblets. Oh, I'm so close. If I was able to do that quest with Jasmine and Aladdin with the Ali costume, I'd probably be fine. And then, like, yeah, I think that probably would have been fine for that. Now, in terms of, like, currency and stuff, I'm still going to challenge the tower as much as I can to get currency in this chapter, because that's I'm just going to stock up on, so that will be helpful for when chapter 2 and 3 start. I'll have some currency to purchase those other character tokens right away. So stay tuned for lots more sort of tips and tricks on this tower challenge, but I think for now that pretty much covers everything that you guys need to know as of right now. I'll keep you guys posted on the whole happiness situation. I know I've talked a lot about it recently, but it's something that I feel like we all need to be aware of, and we need to sort of realize that things are going to take us longer to collect for right now because of this change, and our kingdom is going to be suffering a bit from it. So we just need to be aware and sort of have a different strategy a little bit to how to handle it until this whole thing gets sorted out. So that is everything I'm going to be doing for this video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys did, make sure to give it a big Mickey thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that bell for post notifications for lots more on Disney's Magic Kingdoms. Thanks for watching, and we will see you for the next one.